Japan are some of the sponsors for this particular event, and it brings together delegates from various countries. 11 heads of states are expected in the country, and at this particular time I want us now to engage in a conversation on what this means for us as a country, as the region, and as the world entirety, being that the blue economy is a big deal globally. Joining me in studio is Maimuna Mohd Sharif, who's Executive Director of the United Nations Habitat. Thank you very much for joining us. We also have Romina Santa Clara, who's a Project Development and Liaison Officer, the International Organization for Migration. Thank you very much, ladies, for joining us here for this very important conversation. Next week, like I said, Nairobi is going to be a buzz because of this conference. What are some of the things that are likely to come up in this particular forum? I'll start with you.
Thank you very much for having me here. I would like to see the significance of the Blue Ocean, Blue Economy Summit. I would like to start with three things. One is the significance of this Blue Economy Summit to the coastal cities and the overall cities. Second is about the challenges and the opportunities that we will get from this summit. And the third is the way forward. I would like to share with you some of the statistics that we have now. Yeah. Oceans covers 70% of the earth. That shows how important it is. And more than 40% of the world population is live in the coastal area. And again, out of 22 megacities with population of more than 10 million, 15 are located along the coastals. And 90% of the world trade goes through ports and cities. That is on the economic parts. And for example, like Tanzania, Dar es Salaam alone handle 95% of the country trades. And the Blue Economy Summit, I think this is a unique opportunity to discuss for the development of the coastal cities and how it relates to the cities and the other part of the areas in the hinterland. This is very important to see how it's way forward. Second, I would like to bring to you the challenges. If you look at the coastal cities, they are very near to the ocean, very near. And increase in the sea level, they will affect very negatively into the tsunami, or in terms of resilience, coming up with the resilient cities or cyclones and all that. They are bound to be the first phase to be affected by the climate change. And this is very important for us to look into the planning and also in terms of infrastructure. That is in terms of this climate.
All right.
And the third, let me give you, the third one is the way forward. I believe that from the summit, we would like to see how the countries or the cities to come up with a holistic, integrated, sustainable development plan, which we will see from the diagram here. Whatever that is happened on the hill land, high rise, is going through the ocean. So it's where we need the SDG 11 and SDG 14 and SDG 15 to be connected, integrate. These are the 3 points that I would like to make.
All right, and we'll delve deeper into some of the points that you have made. But for you, Romina, why do you think this particular conference is important?
Actually, for IOM, the UN Migration Agency, we have partnered with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in one of the side events for the Blue Economy because we want to bring back the face of the people, particularly migrants and diaspora, how they will be contributing in terms of not just remittances. No? People know when you talk about migrants, diaspora, it's about money. It's not just about money, it's also about knowledge, skills, and the networks. And we are also working with the Kenya Diaspora Council in line with this side event on Monday afternoon. And what is critical in this forum is looking at global partnerships and looking at how we make societies, communities more inclusive and more peaceful. So these are the things that are covered in the Sustainable Development Goals and also in the Global Compact for Migration.
Why is it so important, especially when you look at migration and the status of migration in the world right now? It has become a key issue in most of the countries.
One of the key goals, actually, of the Global Compact for Migration is a safe, orderly, and what we call a migration as a choice. And in fact, in this region, in Africa, it has been benefiting from remittances. In 2017, the global remittances data have shown that out of the over 600 billion US dollars, 72 billion dollars actually benefited Africa. And from these numbers, in fact, we can harness more resources for a lot of community development in the coast. The coast has been mentioned. We're also bringing in delegates from the coast, particularly Lamu and Kilifi, plus partners, academe, and migrants themselves from Asia to benefit from their lessons in terms of what has been happening when we talk about not just the bodies of water, but how people actually depend on these bodies of water for trading, for learning, and let's say how we also address the challenges in terms of maritime security. Maritime security here would be about human trafficking, threats of violent extremism. These are the things that we have to deal with when we talk about the blue economy.
But back to you, Mohd. Looking at the time when this particular conference is coming into place and the kind of concentration and work that has been put into putting in place this economy, looking at the status here in Kenya of how we use or exploit the potential of our blue economy, what do you think are the gaps? You talked about some of the challenges. Let's just delve deeper into that.
I think this is the right opportunity for Kenya and for other the cities, other part of the world, to look into the economic and the social and the culture part of the blue economy. How is it relate, the blue economy? How is it relate to the part of the overall of the cities, in a way that looking into giving the provision of jobs, giving provisions of for the women and the young people, and also looking into how we can achieve the Sustainable Development Goal number 11 to make cities safe, to make cities resilient, to make cities sustainable. That is encompassed between the what happened in the ocean and for overall in the cities. So I think this is the time that we have to rethink the way that we look the planet as one. It's not by individually you are looking into the highland and looking into the coastal cities, then only into the ocean. So I think that's the time that to see that the whole planet is one. Whatever happened in the cities will affect the ocean, and when it affect the ocean, is also affect the economics of the ocean, which is given the employment to the fishermen, employment to the people who are staying along the coastal areas. So I think this is the time that we need to do the rethinking in terms of the overall development of a city, where UN Habitat is given the mandate to help the countries and the cities to provide or to also to provide expertise and also to give element of preparation, formulation of the integrated. I still want to stress the integrated, holistic, sustainable development plan. You cannot take it by part and part, but must be holistic.
Holistic.
Yes.
Robin, you've talked about the security along, of course, our oceans, our seas, our water bodies. Just recently, President Uhuru Kenyatta launched the Coast Guard unit in the country ahead of this particular summit. What do we expect to see in terms of the conversations that will be held as far as security along our shores are concerned? Because we know they have greatly undermined how countries can perform along the seas and what they can get out of the water bodies.
It's actually a good initiative from the Kenya government. We've been following this process with the setting up of the maritime bodies. And in fact, in the side event, we will be having two experts talking about the maritime security in terms of the Kenya efforts and also the regional criticality of Kenya, in line with the one of these, let's say, initiative of the president, because in fact in the UN Development Assistance Framework for 2018 to 2022, the blue economy has been included as one of the key areas for the economic pillar. And when we talk about the economic pillar taking off, we need to consider the enabling environment, and one of this is the maritime security challenges. And that's why it's important to discuss what are these challenges in terms of when we say challenges from the perspective of regulatory framework, You know that Mombasa, for one, is one of the very active ports in the country and also contributes to the economy. We know that the blue economy for Kenya alone in 2015 has brought in almost $2 billion from trading and tourism. So when we don't deal with maritime security in terms of documentation, in terms of undocumented processes, where you have illicit trade or illicit actors, you have, when we say illicit actors, this would be your transnational organized crime. And we will have also delegates from Tanzania, the Africa Capacity Building Center, and the Ghanaian Immigration Service to share their experiences in fighting these illicit trades and transnational crimes.
For you, what kind of support do we expect to see the UN Habitat give towards this goal?
Yeah, we will be, for myself, I was given 3 slots to share the vision and mission and what we are going to do as a UN Habitat, as in one of the UN organization. Second, we will showcase our work at the coastal city. We will have a kiosk and to showcase our work in the coastal city and how coastal cities give an impact to the economic, to the social, to the physical, and even psychological of the people on the ground. And we are here in the footprint in Nairobi, will be ready to give any support that any countries would like us, because we have the expertise, we have the tools, and we also have the ability to work together with either from the national level to the provincial level or regional level, at the local level, and even work together with the community.
All right.
So we are ready.
Okay, you're ready. I want us to take a quick break. We'll be back with this conversation on the blue economy ahead of the Blue Economy conference that is expected to be held here in Nairobi next week from the 26th to the 29th. When we get back, we'll just be